Hello, welcome back to Helping Hand. Today here on Helping Hand, I'm going to show you how to replace your screen door lock. I had recently painted my screen door in the previous video and I wanted to change the lock mechanism. And the brand I'm going with is called the Right product. And it costs approximately about $68, $78. You can get it at Lowe's, or Home Depot. This is a nice little lock. You can lock it, it's got a key and everything. Well, I'm going to show you how to install it today. And some of the things you need to do this job with is an impact, a box knife, channel locks, a pair of channel locks, and a pair of dice. That's basically it. And the first thing I want you to do when you open up your lock, pull all the contents out, lay it out, make sure all your contents are there. And the first thing it said for me to do was to install my mechanism. This is your lock mechanism. Make sure that the lock that you buy is the exact same type of that you have for your screen door. They usually have a universal kit that you can get that matches. This one matches mine perfect, so I don't have to drill any holes or anything. But if you go on with the new install, you have to drill all your holes and everything on the side. And also comes with a template inside of your lock. It's just a template where how you face it, drill up, or how you face it and stuff like that. It tells you everything about your lock. So at first it told me to assemble my mechanism here. This is the lock mechanism. I had to pull these screws out the front of it first. Pull this cover off, and then there's two plastic pieces. I don't know if you can see that you put in two plastic pieces, and then you put this back on, and you put a extension on this. It's an extension. You unscrew these two, and there's an extension. So put the plastic piece on. You got one you have to put behind this little spring here. I don't know if you see that little plastic piece. You have to put that in there as well. And then you want to make sure when you put your latch on that it's facing the right way. It's universal, so if it's you can't just turn the whole lock upside down like that. You can just take this little deal here and push it in and turn it, and you can turn it either direction. So when it's striped, it'll close. Make sure you get that right, or it won't work correctly. That was the first step they told us to do. Second step is that you want to try to. This is your handle, and it's got different marks on it for different depth, for high thickness, how far you want it to strike. And what that is saying, so when you turn your lock, it'll reach your lock mechanism. Well, each one of these represent a notch for depending on how thick your door is. My door is actually an inch and 7/8, and it's got on here on this chart it says if it's an inch and 7/8 or whatever, you cut at a certain spot. So make sure you do read your instructions, and it's going to tell you which notch to clip off. Mine, I just have to clip off one notch. I don't know if you can see that. And it's got a left and it's got a right on there as well. It doesn't matter which side you cut on, because the mark's going to go through and it's going to be the same. So I'll just take off one notch, and you just take a pair of channel locks and you hold it exactly where that mark is, with that line. I don't know if you can see that. See that line right there? You want to hold it right there to that line. I don't know if you can see that. And then you take your other ones, like so. Hold it with one. And you just want to break off that end. And you take your other ones. If you had a pair of 2 channel locks, that will work as well. You just take it there and you just break off that end. Come on. Break off. Like I said, it should break off easy. Nothing's never easy. But you want to break off and want to hold it with one. You take your other one. That's pretty tight. We had to get a bigger set of channel locks. There we go. Broke it off at that spot. So I got that correct. And the next thing we're going to do, we're going to install my latch mechanism. Your latch mechanism. And when you put it in, this is your door, you want to make sure it goes in flush. Should go in flush, and it's flat and flush. And then make sure your latch is facing, so when it hit, your latch pushes in, like so. You want to make sure that's functioning correctly. And then you get your screws and screw your screws in. If you can see that, like so. And screw that in the bottom. Snug it up. One at the top. There you go. That's that. Spacer. Got that on. Cover. Now we need to screw the screws back in it. Okay. Got that. Put that in there. Like so. All right. Tighten this that screw up. Okay. Got the set screw tight on the handle. Got the handle on, got the bushing on, got the set screw tight. It's working properly. Let's cover on. So, I'm gonna find the screws, not the long ones, but the shorter ones. They give you a lot of different size screws depending on how thick your door is. So, you have to kind of measure and see which ones to use. Two of those, and I'm thinking they're gonna be these. Here. That's that. Cut everything on, then tighten up the screws. On the top. Bottom functions good. Lock closed, lock open. Good. Screws are good. Tighten up, take your L and tighten up your handles. Be one on each side. Tighten those up, make sure they're good and tight. You don't want your handle to come off. That side. That's that. Let's do the final check. That's that. Lock it. Locks good. Unlock it. Opens good. We're good to go. Installed this handle here. It took me about 20 minutes. They had a space kit that I had put on that I really didn't need. It didn't say that was optional or anything. I just had the spacer and I'm saying it was on. But anyway, that's it. I got the lock on. The key's working good. I'll give you a close-up on it. That's the lock and the door. Latch, make sure everything is working. Latch is going all the way in flush. Lock is coming out, in and out. It closes. Good, snug. We're good to go. That'll be it. That's the screen door patio lock I replaced. I went with black because I like black as the color. You can do it just yourself if you want to save you some money. The lock cost me about $75 with tax. You probably save yourself. You have someone do it. You probably save yourself about $300. So this is just one quick tip on how to change your lock. And I just want to thank you guys for watching. Continue to follow me at Helpinghandokc. Please subscribe. Please follow. Until next time, bye-bye.